Hi everyone and happy Monday. It is planner day and we have a lovely owl picture. Now I can't remember whether this is from Enchanted Forest or Secret Garden, but I'm sure it will come to me. Now I've done this a lot of times before, this picture, and I often do it with a sort of blue or silver moon behind, like that circle, and then make it sort of night-timey. But I figure that it's the right time of year to do something more autumnal, so that's what I'm going to do with it. Now I have a feeling that this has been a planner page before, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, it doesn't matter at all. We're going to come in and we're going to have a go. I think we'll just start with the owl. Now, eyes are always tricky for a variety of reasons, but we're going to have a good go and have some fun with them. Now I'm using my Staedtler Ergosoft pencils. Haven't used them for ages, and I didn't feel like I wanted to have too much of a too many different colours to choose from. Just today I'm not in the mood for choosing a million zillion colours, and of course we're not going to use our blues and purples and pinks very much, if at all, so this is going to keep me quite limited. Number 24 is where I'm going to start, which I think is going to be good for me. It's going to help me. So we're going to go just around that black eye bit there with this, just around there. The same on this side. So we're putting quite an intense orange there. I think you can probably see. Then I've just noticed I've got a gap. No, I thought I had a gap between the orange and the black, which I don't want, but I didn't. It's actually, in fact, the light shining off the pencil. A bit tricky. I've had to shut the blind because the sun was right across. You can see the shadow of the tripod. I'm going to go to 42 and do the rest of this sort of section here of eye. Yeah, so I'm just going to put a medium pressure layer across the whole of the section. So anyway, it's all good. Number 24 again. Now what I'm going to do here is go on the outer line of the eye, so around here. Now ideally those black lines that Johanna's drawn in, I would want them to be orange, but going over the top of them with orange is not really going to achieve very much, so it's going to actually just end up looking like the eyes are dark orange, so I'm not going to do that. Now we have this whole lot of drawing all around the owl, and I find that quite distracting, and it sort of puts me off a little bit sometimes. So, because what I want from my owl is feathers, and we've got feathers drawn here. I wish they were drawn all over it. However, we're going to do our best and see where we get. We're going to start with 76, okay? And we're going to do these eyebrows. For me, they're quite easy. So nice and dark in here, and then less going up towards the edge. And if you do this sort of movement where you start quite hard here and then release your pencil off the paper, you get a sort of more feathery look, I feel, like this. Now we've got this swirly bit coming out here, and we have to decide, do we want to colour that in and make it just embrace the pattern, or do we colour over it and sort of ignore it? It's always the thought in my head, what do I do? What do I want to do? Do I want to make him look like some sort of just fun fantasy owl with different odd bits of fun doodling? Or do I want to try and make him look a little bit more realistic and just colour over the top? Now some people would white that out, you know, and try and get a realistic look. I'm still debating what to do, to be honest, while I'm talking to you. But I think what I will do is just finish this. There we go. I think I'll colour them with this. I'm going to embrace the doodles. Like that, and just block it in really. And the same with this one. But we're going to switch colour for the bit in the background to our slightly darker brown, which is the 77. It looks quite black on camera. It is a brown. And I'm going to sort of start here at the top of the beak and start putting in little feathery marks like that. And I'm just going to go for it. Now I'm going to overlap them over some of this, just because it's, oh, itchy eye, just because it's easier, rather than for any sort of aesthetic reasoning. Now if you want an even more distinct feathery look, you could use a very thin fine liner to draw in some lines, or a black pencil. Because we're doing the same colour all the time, we're sort of layering over what we've done. It doesn't show up as much, but I don't mind. Now I'm going to try and stay in the lines, but going out of the lines also gives a more feathery look. But it's not quite what I'm going for today. So I'm still doing a sort of a liney approach, rather than a colouring round and round, because I want you to see my pencil strokes, so it looks a little bit more like feathers. There we go. Oops, I've gone out of the lines anyway, but never mind. Okay, so there's the top. Now around the eyes, we've also got all this drawing. Now I don't know whether that's supposed to be part of the eyeball or not, I never know, but I'm going to just colour it feathery like this. Sorry, just being a bit fussy. So I'm going to go back to the 76. I'm just going to sharpen it, and I'm going to fill out those areas that have been marked. Not sure quite what to do here. I'm just going to layer it over, I think, here. Maybe ignore those tiny lines, and here just colour over this line and these little bumps. Okay. Oh, try not to break your pencil. Is my sharpener too full? No. It's very rare for ergos to break, but it happens from time to time. Maybe I was pressing too hard. Sometimes it's to do with the angle as well. If you use it at an awkward angle, it can put too much pressure on the lead. But it just depends. There we go. And then around here. I can't believe the date of this planner. It's the 30th, isn't it? First tomorrow. Wow, where has it gone? Now we're going to go back to the 77 like we did last time, and I'm just going to do this inner eye area first. So just with our lines again. Oh, if you don't have the ergos, I know a lot of you won't, I do have some comparison charts between them and other brands, so you can find the nearest colours. But actually, because there's only a few that I'll be using, you might be able to guess or choose your nearest, because we've got, you know, 2 shades of brown here. That's all I've got in dark brown. We've got some lighter browns, some redder browns, sort of sienna-y type browns, which I'll be using later. Now we're going to go down from here, down the side of the beak, and do this bit. Just exactly the same. Lots of little strokes of colour. So yes, so you might just pick 2 shades of darkish brown. It doesn't really matter. You might want to do more shades than 2, of course. But yeah, there are conversion charts that you can use. What I would always suggest is have a look in my description where I list all the colours that I've used, and grab all the right colours first before you start trying to colour along, and then you can you're organised and prepared. Also, it might be beneficial to watch it through first, but I don't know. I wouldn't. I would just get on with it. I don't tend to watch first, but then I don't watch a lot of YouTube, to be honest. I don't watch much, really. I'm going to be watching a YouTube later, though. I'm going to be doing a tutorial myself, so that'll be fun. Chris Cheng, I spoke about it in another video. I think tomorrow morning's video I made earlier. It's confusing, yeah. Now I'm going to go back to our 76, and I'm going to do all these little feathers. Now, what I'm going to do with these is make them dark at the top by colouring more layers and then less layers towards the tip, and just work through each feather one at a time, colouring like that. I can't remember what this colour's called. What's this? This is the Van Dyke Brown, and the other one's called the Warm Sepia. I guess that's about right. I'm just over colouring a bit. I'm not seeing the contrast that I was hoping for. Actually, I still haven't watched Last Night of the Proms, but probably won't bother now. I was going to watch it with my husband, and then told me he didn't like it, and he thought I knew. I had no idea he didn't like it. So, it was a shame. But never mind. He used to like it. I don't know. Gets a bit more stressy about things like that these days. We probably all get a bit more grumpy as we get older. Try not to. My son was he saying this morning? Something about his father being a grumpy old man, shaking his fist at the clouds or something. It was really funny. I thought it was anyway. So we're just moving to the other side and just colouring away, doing exactly the same thing. I can hear a plane. It's outside. It sounds really summery. I don't know what it is. What, hearing a plane always reminds me of summer. Why is that? Because you have the windows open, I guess. You can hear them, but I can hear them through my closed windows, so I don't know. But it is sunny today. It felt quite warm actually when I went outside. It's not that warm in here. I haven't got my cardigan on though, but I've got my slippers on. And I only woke up hot once last night, but it took me ages to get off to sleep, so maybe I slept quite solidly once I was actually asleep. Maybe that was it. Did I do that one in there? No. I'm not really sure what to do with all this. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna grab my 77 and do all these weird bits. So this bit's easy. We can just do this in the same way as the other feathers. Fading it down. Let me have this bit. I'm just gonna fill it in because same as this bit. Just gonna sort of fill it in really. And then see where it leads us. As you can tell, a really well planned out video as always. I think I'm going to move over here and do the symmetry. and then I can procrastinate doing that bit there, which I'm not sure what colour to do it. Do you do that too? I'm not sure how to do that bit, so I'll move on and do a different bit. Eventually I'll have to deal with it, but not now. It's quite silly really. What I'm having to decide is basically what colour do I want this main body. Do I want to switch colours? But I think it will look odd, so I think I'm going to do all the little fiddly bits in this colour. And then do the other colour for the sort of background almost. Yeah, I haven't decided what I'm doing for the background here. I've got an idea, but I don't know whether it's going to work. So I'm thinking it through as I colour this bit, as you do. So this picture in the main book is opposite picture of a squirrel in a circle. They're a sort of matching pair, but I've never coloured them as a matching pair. I always used to colour the squirrel in more autumnal colours and the owl in more nighttime colours. So, but it's nice to do a more autumnal theme, that owl. I'm thinking about this bit down here. See, I think I'm going to block these bits in, and then that'll be me done with this darker colour, and all the rest will be light. That's my my thinking. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Lucky I turned the camera off because that's quite a loud sneeze. I could feel my nose tickling away. It's very odd, isn't it? Right. So just blocking these bits in. And then back to our 76 to just do sort of feathery detailing. So I think I'm going to come down from the beak into this space. I don't know if owls are often brown. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're grey. But it's okay. I'm just going to sort of go over here. I think it's just much easier than trying to go in between. And because we've burnished in this colour here, it really doesn't matter, in my opinion, that we're going over the top, and it'll look a lot better, I think. You could of course do this in the other order. You could do this bit first and then colour over if you think that will look better. And then I'm going to start coming around from this corner. I'm wondering what colour to do my branch now that I've used all my dark browns for the actual owl. Oh, I don't want to colour over the foot. Hang on. That claw. Try and be a little bit more careful. Now I've gone over the branch. That's not such a bad thing. Because I've now decided what I'm doing with that. It'll be okay. With the feet, it'll be bright. So it's like the dust cart. They've already been. Oh, they might be doing the food bins. Again here, don't worry if you go over the edge, it won't even show. It's better to go over the edge than to leave a bit of white, I think, on this tail part. Now I'm just trying to decide whether my idea for feet and beak is going to work with my idea for the background. I think it will. Right, so feet and beak are going to be done in this 11. Okay, now we do have different bits marked on here. The top bit I'm thinking might be like the top of the nose. I'm going to leave that and do it black, I think. But this bit I'm just going to colour over. I'm thinking maybe it should be a bit more layered up on the edges than the centre. And then I'm going to do the feet in the same colour. Now, this is not a realistic colour, but I think it looks pretty. And so that's why I'm doing it. So the very top of the beak there, I'm going to do in a black, which is our number 9. So that little teeny circle there. And then I'm going to grab my number 16 and just do those 2 little triangles. I don't know if this is even going to show up very much. Like that. And then the tiniest layer over here. But I still want to make it a bit more faded in the middle. I'm not even sure if that really shows up. Okay. Now, I want to do the branch next because, let me just think. Yeah, I'm going to do the branch in 2 colours. I'm going to start with 73. Okay, let's just push him up a tiny bit. It's quite narrow. You're going to need a sharp pencil. Now, normally with branches, I like to and make them a bit darker at the bottom, maybe put a bit of moss on them, that sort of thing. But this one is so narrow, there's no way I can do that. So I'm just going to block it in now. Don't burnish this down too hard, because it's going to be another colour going over the top. I hope I haven't said that too late. But it's okay, it's not going to be the end of the world. Just that this is too red and pale for branches, but I just want to make a different colour brown. So now I'm going to go over it with the 77, and I'm hoping it will just look a little bit different to our owl, because we'll get a bit of the orangey colour showing through. That's the plan. I think it's working. Now, oh, that's a long way out of the lines, isn't it? I think I may have to try and get my eraser around that a little bit in a minute. It's going to really leave quite a dark stain. Now I'm trying to decide whether to do my background first or my leaves first, because colouring around the leaves is quite fiddly. But I think I'm going to do background first. Now my background idea is to do a sort of orangey yellowy sky, because I think that will work well with our autumnal theme, and hopefully it won't be too over the top with too much going on. But what I'm going to do, I think, is rather than just go from orange to yellow and just do a you know, I don't know, the colours fading up there, I'm thinking we could do some lines across to sort of look like streaks in the sky first. Now that I've never tried this before, so I've got my number 24 and I'm going to put a few lines like this, just bits of orange. Now trying to colour it around these flower leaves is going to be fun, but you know, oops, over the leaf already. So some streaks here, maybe a few here. It's going to be a little bit random, but always horizontal. So there is a bit of that. I'm not being very daring with how much I'm using, but I'm going to use different shades. So we're now going to go for the number 4. We're going to put over the top of some areas, like here, a bit of new there, and just sort of mix it about a bit. There's no why or wherefore, it's just completely random guesswork, praying and hoping. I don't pray, but that sort of thing. What we're going to do is when I finish putting down bits and bobs of oranges, we're going to go over it with one colour and try and sort of merge it all in and hope it works. So this is number 42. So again, little bits here and there. Try not to colour over the leaves, but I always do because that's what I like. Now the leaves are going to sort of be silhouetted against the background, so that was something that I'm pondering. Do I do them in like a black? But the branch isn't black, so they can't be. So I think I will just do them in a green. Oops. I'm just going to erase that. She is rubbish. Right. I'm going to try the 43, do a little bit of that. Maybe we need a bit in here, in this bush. Around here. This is going to be my last sort of splodgy splodgy colour, because that's a word. And then I'm going to use my this. I'm going to use 11, and I'm going to go across the whole background now with 11 to sort of blend, brighten, finish it off, and hopefully bring it all together and it'll work. This is where we hope it works. Now I'm not pressing hard. I may need to do another layer, but I want to just keep it reasonably light and see how it turns out. Really. Just work through. I'm going to try and keep to the horizontal direction of colouring, but I may have to do a bit of fiddle-faddling in different areas, like in here, for example. So we'll just see how it all, you know, that on the edge there, you want to make sure the colour gets right to the edge of everything. Sorry, just adjusting my position so I can see. Yeah, I'm struggling with my eyes again. It's only been a year since I had new specs and it made such a difference. I might need some again, but the problem is that that's very expensive. So, I don't know. They're not as bad as they were. Apparently during menopause or perimenopause your eyesight can deteriorate quite considerably, so I don't know if it's to do with that or if it's just general old age. I don't want to be old. Don't let me be old. I never want to get too old. I never feel young anymore though. It's a shame. I used to feel like I was just still 18 all the time, but now I feel a bit older. I think it's because my kids are 19. I can never be as young as them. Maybe that's it. But we'll see. I certainly feel like I am a different person to what I was back at 18. I think that having more responsibility weighs down on you a little bit as you get older. You know, I wonder whether that disappears once your kids leave home. Does that feeling of responsibility disappear? Because you're no longer responsible for their day-to-day life and activities. Maybe you can chill a bit. Be nice. But then they might not leave home. They still have husband to look after. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I shouldn't. I do get told off by, oh, you shouldn't take on the responsibility, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Or they'll never be able to do it themselves if you do it for them. So they can, but I feel like I've got the time and the capability. I can do it quickly and all that, you know. Like if I didn't make husband a lunch, he wouldn't have any, you know, because I don't know what he'd do. He'd probably eat crisps, because he can eat plain crisps. That's about all he can eat. That's probably what he'd eat every day. And he's trying to be healthier, and it's working. He's feeling better, he's looking better, he's, you know, so that's all good. But it's taken a long time to find things that suit him and are healthy at the same time, and you know, it isn't always easy. And also because he has realised that he's intolerant to so many things which he didn't realise before, he has cut down his sort of buying snacks at work, and his meds stop him feeling hungry, which helps too in some ways, although some people don't. I mean, people don't always eat because they're hungry, you know. He used to also eat to stay awake, because he would nod off, but now his meds keep him awake, so that helps. So he's really pleased, actually, that things are progressing. This is quite a subtle background, rather than normally when I do this sort of sunsetty type look, it's quite dark and intense. This isn't so much, and I rather like it for being different and subtler, because we might be wanting to use these colours again for maybe some of our leaves and things, and so having something that's a little bit subtler, subtler, that's not a word, and more subtle might work in our favour. I'm nearly there. I think what I will do on this one now, I want to do this outside piece, this sort of loopy bit. I'm not sure what colour to do it, to be honest. I'm thinking maybe the darker orange, because I don't think I'm going to do a leaf in this. I don't really like this colour. Where is it gone? Is it 24? Yeah, 24 is called Scarlet Red, actually. I think it's quite orangey, and I don't really like it that much, but I think if I do it for this rim, it'll stand out as a sort of frame, and I'm just going to fill it in, really. I was just thinking that I've probably already got this sort of Halloween October edition of the Colouring Heaven magazine by the time this video goes out, and they told me that there was some Agatha Pop pictures in there, which is rather exciting. I don't know whether they're ones that she's released already, because sometimes they do that, they take pictures that people have done before and put them in, or whether they're new ones. I could ask Agatha, but she's still recovering and probably extremely busy, so I don't want to. I will wait and see. So that's quite exciting. I could have flipped through done of that. It's probably already gone out by the time this video goes out. Getting a little bit ahead with my planner pages while I'm still in the mood for doing autumn colours. Now the background, I rather like it in this subtle look, but if you want it a bit darker you could go over the colours a bit more, but also I find it quite difficult because of all the little bits and pieces in front of it. Now this is hard. I'm going into the whole, I think what I'm going to do is fill in those gaps with something else. I usually imagine that it's this sort of bit that we can see through, but I think I'm going to colour them in, and then it doesn't matter that I've been going over the top of them because they're so small. In the actual page in the book, they're a lot bigger. This makes it a bit easier. But what colour? Got some ideas. It needs to be darker than this because I'm going over the lines, so it needs to be able to cover this, the little bits where I'm going over. So either, this is what my brain's thinking, either a red or a brown. Okay, black is obviously also an option, but I don't want to do black. So now that twig comes out of this ring. I'm just going to pretend it doesn't, because this is orange. That twig, I don't want to be orange. As much as we're doing a sort of fantasy picture, I can't get my head doing orange twigs. I think sharpening this might be useful. Nearly there. There. It's not that neat. Just gonna. Now the gaps, I think I'm going to do them in the brown, the 76. Okay, so I'm just going to sharpen that. It's getting really short. 76. I'm not sure. Staedtler, told me they were stopping Ergos and they weren't going to make them anymore. And yet I'm sure I still see them for sale, so I'm a bit confused by that. Whether they're still selling off old stock or whether they changed their mind, I don't know. But either way, it's good. At least you can get them. Fill in those little gaps. It's fiddly work. Covering often is. Ow. Rings. Ow. I was told, I'm given a hint to put something over the top of these so when you lean on them it doesn't hurt. It's a really good idea, but when I'm filming it's hard because it would block. My hand blocks enough as it is. But the best thing to do is turn your book round. I'm going to resharpen my 24 and just go back round and tidy up where I've made a mess. And actually, now I'm not so worried about colouring over those gaps, because I was trying to leave the gaps, it was messier, but now I filled them in, I'm going to colour over them a little bit. Just tidy it up all the way around. But it's not so bad. It's when trying to fiddle around different plants and leaves and whatever, it's quite tricky. Right. Put my hand down on top of a pencil, or my elbow. There we go. Right. I think I want to do this outside rim in this same 24. It's 24, isn't it? So I'm just going to do that. Oh, you have to come out a bit because you won't see. Not that there's much to see. I'm just colouring a line, and that will be that'll probably be it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long this has been because I stopped it because I sneezed, didn't I? So I'm not sure how long the video is. It's some little flowers there. Look. What colour we're going to do those? Now we sort of lose our border a little bit here until we get to here. I think it's probably, yeah, it's tricky here. I'm just going to leave it out, I think. It's tricky. I'm thinking that would come around here and it would come there. But it's gone, so I'm just going to leave it out. I think sometimes I draw it in. I'll have a look at the end and decide. See whether it does it anywhere else. Here it always gets confusing as well. I think it might be there. It's when there are like leaves and vines as well. I get easily confused. There, I think. There we go. Yeah, I think quite a few different illustrators sometimes put quite a few different lines into pictures and I get confused. But maybe it's just me. Now I've got to decide whether I'm going to do a background on this ring or not, and if yes, what. No idea. I think it needs something because that's quite a white, stark area otherwise. Sometimes I do it so that it looks rounded, like it's a sort of rounded frame, or even wooden, like a wooden picture frame, like this is a picture, or you could do it like this is a plate and that's a slightly raised edge. You can put a little bit of shadow around that crimped bit to make it look like this bit is sunk down, but it doesn't then work with these which go overhang the edge. now I need to sort this out. I feel like I need some here. I'm just going to I'm just going to colour that bit in, I think, and the bit in there. But it needs a little bit here and here. It just continues round. It's just a tad. There we go. So there is what we've done so far. Definitely need something going on in here to stop it looking so this orange is standing out too much. Once we've done the plants and things, they'll help too. But for now, I'm going to leave it. We've gone on for a fair amount of time. So I'll do a bit more tomorrow. Might get it done tomorrow, actually. I don't know. I'll have a think. Well, it depends how long it takes. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a super day and happy colouring.